and stuff. And you the first interview that I've done at 12 noon in a long time.
I'm sorry. I'm an early bird.
Oh, don't worry about it, cause it's like it's funny what people don't realize. Cause I was hearing of a podcast say this: when you get to a certain age, it's like your body wakes you up on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? Like I always, no matter what, whether I'm off work or it's work, I always wake up like at 5 o'clock, like clockwork. Like my body's used to it and
Yeah,
stuff, so
exactly.
I understand it. It's like when I try to sleep in, I try to sleep in. But me, I'm kind of person I like getting my shit over with during the day.
I have a big old farm dog, a big lab who wakes me up with the sun. So
Oh
she
my
didn't
god,
let
I'm
she
so
didn't
jealous
let
you
me
have a
sleep in.
Labrador. I'm so jealous you got a Labrador. I love them dogs. They're just so sweet.
Oh yes, she's my big baby, and pretty much my two dogs are my life. So it's their house. I just live in it.
So so we're gonna begin like this because I've been following you for years. I'm just gonna say this first to get this out of the way. I am extremely nervous. For the first time in 3 years, I am nervous because
Nervous.
this to me is one of the biggest interviews for me. Because
Aw.
when I was active, I remember talking to your ex a long time ago. I always wanted to work with you. I always felt you was one of the top five of all time in this business, straight up.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and stuff. And you, for one, she was one of the ladies that was doing content before it was cool.
Exactly.
You walked in the game independent. You know what I'm saying? And I follow your tweet and everything. And the question I gotta ask you, for everything that you went through, what keeps you in this?
What keeps me in this business?
Yes.
Um, Taking care of my family.
So true.
I I stepped out of being a part of the civilian real world, regular world, when I decided to step into the adult entertainment industry.
Mhm.
And honestly, it's not that easy to get out of this. Like, um, I was a teacher before. I was a kindergarten teacher and a first grade teacher, and
Mm.
I can't go back to that. Like, I can't go
Yeah.
back to teaching little kids. Once you teach adults,
Yeah, yeah. So
you
true.
can't really teach little kids anymore. Which honestly I think is stupid. But I mean, the fact is that I put myself out there, and once you put yourself out there, and once you choose this life, it's hard to step away from the life.
Yeah.
Um, I do it because I support a family. I'm the breadwinner in the family. I now am single and have two kids in college, and pretty much anything I earn goes to those children and these dogs. So, for that reason, just to be straight up and honest, that's why I still do it. But I also, I was out of it from 2014 to 2019 when I broke my neck and
Mm.
had to learn to walk again, and had to learn to use, my body again, even hold my head up, and had to learn to deal with the chronic pain that I suffer from it. A big part of that was, you know, having my goal was to get back into work. Like
Yeah.
it was like I was at the pinnacle of my career when I got hit by the universe, as I say, decided to smash me in the car, so my head popped off, and it was just kind of a wake up call. But I really stepped back into the adult entertainment industry in 2019 because
Mm.
it was a goal of mine to get back and to being Dee. Dee's a character. She's not real. I talk about this a lot on my own live streams and
Mm.
content. And as an adult entertainment performer, you take on this character that becomes a part of you,
Yeah.
and it comes from you. I mean, it is you, it's your creative side of you,
Hmm.
but it also is not really you.
Yeah.
And it's hard to distinguish. It's not like we're not like regular actors where you step into a character and you're done with it 3 months later.
Mm-hmm.
We're character actors that take on a whole personality and you become the personality. And
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to step out of that personality and realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm not being myself. You get kind of consumed by it. But the accident forced me to be myself. It forced
Mm-hmm.
me to see that side of me again, to honest, and it even more so than like even before like I met my ex-husband. Like
Mm-hmm.
it made me realize, you got to start over at the basics and,
Yeah.
pay attention to the connection between the brain and the body, and then therefore the brain and the energy that runs it. So I learned a lot about myself, and a part of coming back into the industry was to prove to myself I could do it, and also to be able to reintroduce myself as just me, and
Mm-hmm.
reintroduce myself as the human behind the character,
Yeah.
um, and recognize that as an industry, we're super objectified and exploited as people. And, you have to realize that we are people. And so it's always
Yeah.
been kind of I had my own podcast. I had a segment that was porn stars are people. And, people got to talk about their real lives,
Yeah.
not just the industry.
Yeah. Because I think the thing that we deal with is that people expect the on-screen persona to be us off camera. And
Right.
that's part of the reason why I did this podcast, so people can see that these women and these men are human beings. This is just our job. We are married, we have kids, many of us have jobs. You
Mhm.
know, the business takes its toll. Like with you being injured, people don't realize the physical taxing of a shoot, how physically taxing it is to do our shoots. Because it's not just that, because the first thing they're thinking that we just walking on set, fucking. No. It's fucking with a purpose. It's fucking with, how can I put this? We're not just fucking because we have to pay attention to certain things while we're doing these things. The camera, the way that we angle ourselves, the way that we move and stuff. And trust me, you can be sore as fuck after one of these shoots. It's straight up. It's been time where I've been like feeling like I've been in the football game. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And
It's
yeah,
a
and for you
workout.
come, yeah, and for you coming back from such a horrific injury, I know you were nervous with your first scene because it's kind of like because of the physicality of how we shoot.
I was the girl who never said no. And if you truly are a fan of mine, you can see that in my performance. Like I been there, done that, done everything. And what this injury required me to do is learn about boundaries. I honestly, in my private life and my public life, I just didn't have any boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't, I always thought it was kind of selfish to put myself first. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was selfish to, have boundaries and say no, that no is like kind of a bad word.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of us in this industry have been pushed into things that we don't necessarily want to do,
Yeah.
through shitty agents who are just trying to exploit you, or even other talent, or
Mm-hmm.
husbands, or managers, or whoever it is. Uh, and I think it's key to longevity in this industry
Mm-hmm.
is that you follow your path to your purpose, your passions, your desires, your wants, your needs. Focus on you. More than anything, this industry has taught that I'm important, that taught me that I'm important, taught me that not because of everybody saying you're a legend or accolades or what you've
Mm-hmm.
done or, oh my gosh, but because I actually started paying attention to myself. But the industry itself really just opened up everything for me, because I mean, I came from being a monogamous housewife, or not, I mean, I was a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and everything, like the idea, I mean, shit, I didn't even own a sex toy until I was 35. And then I became a swinger, but I really did that because my ex wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the monogamous one. He was not. So
Yeah.
that being the case, it was like, okay, well, the door's open now for me because I believe in equality. And if
Mhm.
you're gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it and let's do it together. So it was an open to my own sexuality by just becoming a swinger and experiencing more with other people and choosing to experience, you know, women and different kinds of men and just opening my brain to pretty much every type of person out there.
Mhm.
Do I have a type? Absolutely not. I'm not the type of, people are like, well, are you really a size queen? I mean, my body can take anything that's even over human size. So that's just a feat of nature. And you mentioned being tired.
Yeah.
I believe that we're sexual athletes. That's what
Mhm.
we are. Like we're
Mhm.
performance artists. It's like the circus. Like the poses we get into, the situations we put ourselves into, are not. I don't want to teach the public that's normal or to expect that of any other person. Like
Mhm.
that's like saying, as a you're going to go play basketball and you expect the people around you to play at pro level.
Mhm.
Well, they're not going to. So stop expecting your partner to be a professional at sex because you watched it on some website. Because the fact is that that's not really us even in private life. I don't
Yeah.
do all that. Like I put myself in crazy situations, in public in crazy situations. I've filmed crazy scenes physically. Like I said, I can take a lot, but do I want to do that all the time? No. Like, do I want it to be that extreme? No. And I think that's an issue with society and why they judge us. They judge us
Yeah.
because we're comfortable with sexuality,
Mhm.
and once you step into the realm of not giving a fuck what anybody thinks about you sexually,
Mhm.
and believe in free love, then society's going to turn against you because that's your sacral power, that's your creative power, that's creation. Like that energy exchange and that connection with another human being is powerful,
Mhm.
and that's what creates things in this world. And the powers that be don't want us to be that strong. So, and especially women. So
Oh, for sure.
we get put on as creators in this industry, and especially when I started, I lost my entire family. They just owned me
Mm.
because I chose to be comfortable with my body, and chose to show the world my party tricks. Like,
Yeah.
and I felt like shit, I've been doing this forever. Why can't I just do it, and
Yeah.
actually do it professionally? When you're good, like I lost all my swinger friends. They said they hated the job. They liked me, but they had the job. And I was too extreme. I'm like, that's your problem. All these
Yeah.
things are your problem, not mine. And why you think I'm fake now because I get actually make money? That's like saying that, somebody that can play the guitar and is really, successful at it
Mhm.
is now fake. No,
Mhm.
it
No.
means that I'm better. So, so yeah, I don't know. I came back because I've built a family within this industry.
Mhm.
Um, I lost the family that I had before,
Mhm.
and this became a family for me, a very crazy, wild, dysfunctional family. But I and I felt like, you know what, I'm here to help those in this industry and anyone else in society that wants to live an authentic life, live
Mhm.
a real life that, allows you to enjoy it, follow your own path, your own passions, stop
Mhm.
holding yourself back, learning to unblock energy centers that may have been created by you and fear and things that are just low vibrational energy, learning, teaching people how to um, connect to self-love and intuitive intimacy, where go with the flow, actually let it, stop forcing things, stop trying to control things, because that's not how you become abundant in life. You become abundant if you believe that, you believe in abundance. Like you can't sit here and think that I'm always going to be poor, and that's just how it is. That's what life gave me. Because the fact is that create this story. It's your story to tell. And
Mhm.
I decided when I was stuck in a chair for 5 years and couldn't go out and couldn't do anything anymore, you know, I still kept creating my own content. I
Mhm.
mean, I there's pictures and little clips. I started my OnlyFans when I was on morphine in a hospital with the
Hey,
neck brace on. You know, I mean,
that's dedication.
yeah, I mean, it was like a daily diary. That's how I started, and that was back in the very beginning when nobody was on it.
Yeah.
So, old school.
Yeah.
My friends helped create it, and my other friends helped, sell it and market it and teach everybody about it. So
Mhm.
it it was something that was like give it a try back in day one. And
Mhm.
as you mentioned, the content
Mhm.
creation, I was a content creator before I was anything,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I always owned the content, which is now why I can break my neck, not be able to do all the crazy shit I used to do, and still make money and be here and do this because I owned it all anyway and I can sell it forever. All I have to do is just put it into 4K and
Mhm.
it's timeless. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing, maybe the clothes aren't
I
but
don't think the fans give a damn about the clothes, god dang it.
they don't stay on for long anyway.
They
so
yeah, and with that, hello smokers, how y'all doing? Welcome to the Smokers Lounge. Y'all know who I am. Calvin Auburn Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. You can find all my links at allmylinks.com/porn rap star. Three sponsors. I'm gonna go through them quickly. lsworld.com, eroticismmagazine.com, and last but not least, blusharocker.com. Also, check out the new home of the premium smoke room on loyalfans.com. 5 premium podcasts, 3 sexy co-hosts. It gets more candid, more unpredictable, more crazy. The tits might come out, dildos might come out. You don't know unless you subscribe. $25.99 a month. Also, we're a proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. So go over to shopgwdistrict.com and buy something. Why don't you? Also, check me out 5 days out of the week in the mornings at fullswatradio.com. Also, check me out at skyhawkafterdarktv.com as well as the BGPLLC app. Now, sorry that we just get into the particulars, but this lady here, she's a legend. She's gorgeous. She was a pog before there was a pog. She was a MILF before there was a MILF. She is one of the icons when it comes to interracial. And trust and believe, this lady got opinions, and she is multi-layered. I'm talking about none other. And normally I get them to introduce themselves, but not her. She deserves a perfect introduction for me. So, smokers, excuse me, I'm trying to say it right. Join me in welcoming the legendary and the gorgeous and the big booty of Dee Siren. Say hello to my smokers, baby.
woo! Hey guys.
Yes, Lord. So we're gonna go back in the time
Thank you for
machine.
that introduction.
Oh, you deserve it, baby. Because like I said, you mothered a lot of these ladies. Trust and believe. Period.
I do see myself as like the mom of porn.
Yeah, because
I'm definitely a teacher, a
yeah.
nurturer, somebody who's out here to um provide a safe space
Mm,
um for creators in general,
mm,
and people in general, to be able to share and be able to you know uh, feel like they can you know step
mm.
into a higher place, be their best self.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So we're gonna go in the time machine. What got Dee Siren into the business? I get you was already probably swinging prior to that. So what got you
Yes,
to filming content?
that's the all-time favorite question. Over 15 years, I think I've said this 5,000 times. Um, what got me into it? I was a teacher and I was a swinger and I was the naughty teacher who,
Mm,
the ex picked me up and he and the boy toy picked me up and I would go have fun like for the
mm,
30 minutes on my break and then come back and teach. And
mm,
I hosted a lot of swinger parties at local establishments
mm,
and became, quite known in the swinger world that
Mhm.
is was here in Houston, Texas.
Mhm.
Um, and we had already kind of did some like webcamming on there. That was fun. You know, I always enjoyed the exhibition part of it.
Mhm.
And as a swinger, I just well, for one thing, school when I was a teacher, it became terrible.
Mhm.
This was back when Katrina hit New
Yeah.
Orleans. Everybody came to Houston, and so the population was very difficult and also
Mhm.
very time consuming and quite a bit heartbreaking
Mhm.
because of the trauma even the little kids have had gone through,
Yeah.
and it was just too much for me. I needed to step away from it so I could take care of my own children, and it's
Mhm.
hard taking care of the world's children, and so teachers just need to make more fucking money. And that was a
Amen.
big factor too, is that I couldn't make more money. There was a freeze on hiring, there was a freeze on pay, and it was like living in poverty but teaching, taking care of 25 kids every day.
Mhm.
So it was one of those things that I was like, I'm just miserable. And so to get away from the misery, and plus teachers are very isolated. They're only
Mhm.
with children and they don't get much adult interaction. Same, cops, same thing, lawyers,
Mhm.
same thing. Like it's people that you're not with children, but just limited interaction when it comes to
Mhm.
social ability. And that's what swinging gave me as friends.
Mhm.
And it gave me a place to have fun on the weekends. But my ex was very much the camera guy, always recording, always documenting the craziness. And it became something, like I said, I snuck off at lunch, would meet up with the boy toy, and then we just started to record these things. We started
Mhm.
recording them, starting to make content. And I had a friend that was also a swinger that was a cam girl under the radar back in the days of iFriends. This is before My Free Cams came around or any of
Yeah.
those, and it was all private. I did well with private shows
Mhm.
because I was, it to me it was all about intimacy. It was all
Mhm.
about connecting with other people and learning about them, and them learning about me, and really being like, the internet's hot wife and the internet's like housewife next door that
Mhm.
would, you want some company, I was there to hang out with you, and I can do crazy feats with my body. So that helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was told that I was too hardcore for webcam back then, because my
Yeah,
toys were
webcam
too
back
big.
then was very vanilla, if you want to be honest about
Yeah, but back in the day, that's how it was. Is very much more of a intimate connection than a show.
it.
And my friend actually was one of the first people to use like a little wheel to play games and all that in her
Yeah.
cam shows. And before these things were like built into websites, this was like, oh, we're gonna make it by hand, and we're gonna
Mhm.
try this little wheel that you could spin and get to choose things and make
Mhm.
it more interactive. And so we came up with a lot of things, and I was really successful at being a cam model. I quit teaching. I tried it for 2 months while I was on break over a summer,
Mhm.
and by July I had made a quarter of the money, or not, I mean, by July I'd made as much money as I had made in teaching.
Mhm.
And that was just for 2 months. So it was just like, okay, how could I not do this?
Mhm.
And so I did it. And then, like I said, I was told, you're too hardcore. Like, all the stuff you do is crazy and you should try porn. And I was offered a uh, shoot with Nadia Alicia out of
Mhm.
Tampa. She
Mhm.
and her husband she was the queen of extreme, um, and her husband offered to come film me. My
Mhm.
first video, excuse me, was Huge Holes 15.
Mhm.
um, if you can imagine. It was a girl toy
Yeah.
show of like using all these crazy toys. And so I always said, I went big before I went back. I went back to more normal after the big. I went hardcore before I kind
Yeah,
of stepped back into the Naughty Americas and the
yeah.
Reality Kings and Brazzers and all that stuff.
Mhm. So shoot, so with you, cause that was your first pay gig. So what was the first big company gig? Was Brazos
The
not America?
first, I worked with Sticky Video, which was back. This was back in DVD days, so like it was a pretty big company. Even the first video that we
Yeah,
had our own. I had my own, you know, DVD cover, and
yeah.
but it was also independent production
Mm-hmm.
companies, smaller production companies that would send their content to Sticky Video for them to make DVDs and produce the movies for them. As I made my first DVD, uh, I was told all about LA. Alicia and her husband, they taught me all about websites, taught my husband all about the websites, how they're the ones that, she was a great mentor, told me that, make your own content, content's king.
Mm-hmm.
And, so they came before me, definitely my mentor on how to do these things. I joined her network. Vicky Vet was also like, her network was being built at that time. So it was all about membership websites and networks. And
Yeah.
so I joined Naughty Alicia's network and we built MrsSiren.com. And
Mm-hmm.
that was our first website to build. Was all about me and everything I did. We made our own DVDs. And then when I went out to LA, the first thing I did in LA was an interview with Hustler magazine. That's the reason I went. And then it was just about meeting people. And
Mm-hmm.
luckily, I was introduced to some really good photographers that worked in the industry, and they gave me hints. And to be honest, I had sex with some random person that gave me an email list. I don't know. Like it was back in the day. Like that's
Yeah.
you don't have to do that shit anymore, but back in the day you did. So uh,
Yeah,
once I
because
got
I
that
always
list,
because when I talk, I love talking to old heads that came in the game like I did because they don't realize we learned to respect the business versus now because of what we had to go through to get in it to begin with. Just like what you said, back when back then I came from the time where you wasn't a real porn star unless you had a .com like she had
mhm,
one. Like having a clip to sell, you got laughed at straight up, period. And which is funny because now it's getting back because all these rule changes that you might need to get a .com nowadays in order to even function because these rules are changing. They don't want to even accept a 2257 no damn more, you know. And it's kind of like, and plus on top of that, which you can preach to this, DVDs was money back in the day.
oh yeah,
DVDs, that where the money was at. It wasn't memberships or clips, it was DVDs.
mhm,
Boy, when Christmas sale took down that DVD store, it made me cry, yo. Because I lost 75% of my money because of that when
yeah.
DVDs went away. Period. And plus also it made you worldwide because I'm pretty sure like me, you was getting DVD orders from around the world.
Yeah, I mean it's distribution. The thing is that honestly though, even though the DVDs were around, I really started at the beginning of the internet explosion,
Yeah,
and creating my own website was the way to go.
yeah.
And because I did that with Alicia
Mm,
and her network. That's where I mean, of course, she and I filmed together quite a bit and
mm,
we became really good friends, but it really built a good fan base.
mm,
And then when I went out to LA, I shot with the first scene I shot with a big company would be Reality Kings, which
mm,
is owned by Brazzers now. And I did that like my friend's hot mom
mm,
with Brazzers or Reality Kings. And then I
mm.
did MILF Hunter.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
then what else did I do? MILF's Next Door. They were all Reality Kings
Mm,
um, film shoots. And then I did Mofos, which was with Brazzers or Naughty America, and Naughty
mm,
America owned that. Um, And from there, you know, I really, by that point, I really started doing more hardcore stuff with Evil Angel and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of more anal things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, 2014, I was nominated for the most outrageous sex scene, which I don't even, I honestly wish that sex scene wasn't out anymore because it was an injury. So I'm like, I got nominated for an injury. Great.
Oh God, how did you get injured?
Well, my butthole got torn.
Ooh,
Like his, if you watch the video, his,
yeah.
you can see the shape of his penis going from my butt up into my vagina, like coming out.
Ooh,
And so it's extreme. And it's like, that's not supposed to happen.
no, because people
Like,
don't realize it. When I always talk about mental and physical prep, and it's a real thing for us. That even with an anal scene, a lady has to prep themselves. They just don't walk on
of
set, and
course.
it's like that. And two, at the same token, the dude, everything got to go right for an anal scene.
Hmm.
From his hardness to your horniness, prepping the ass and the whole nine.
Hmm.
And the fact that you finished the scene after it be, I must applaud you, girl. I know you was in fucking pain, yo.
Um, okay, so that was weird. It was weird. Like, okay, I'm a very stretchy person, and everybody laughs when I say that. But like, I have a condition that makes my skin very stretchy, and
Mm-hmm.
so because of that, it really was just an accident, and it was all about like position,
Mm-hmm.
and you know he had a really big penis, and I was like, whoa. So the pain is, I don't know. I've always been somebody who could handle a lot more internal pain than external pain. I'm not into smacking,
Yeah.
hitting, slapping, none of that. Nothing on my skin. But
Mm-hmm.
like internally, I don't think it was, it really wasn't super painful because well, I say that, but I also couldn't walk for like 3 days straight. So like
I can believe it.
obviously it was, but I just thought he was just big. I was like, damn, that was
Yeah,
crazy.
cause I
So
ain't gonna front. If you got a big dick going in the ass, you got to be very careful, dog. I ain't even
yeah,
gonna lie.
I mean, and he that's all he shoots for Evil is anal scenes,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't his fault. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
my fault. It was just the fault of the position we were in. And
Yeah.
then I, of course, am such a weirdo that I was like, oh, do that again. Like that was cool that that came out. Like that looks awesome. Like I was all about what did that look like, and you know,
Yeah.
as I tell some people, like regardless of the situation around me, when I'm performing, I go hard and
Yeah.
you know, I get into a dissociated state of what
Mm-hmm.
my body's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any pain or anything like that. And it's
Mm-hmm.
more of, I'm in a, you know, erotic euphoria,
Mm-hmm.
and that I'm way into what I'm doing. All the orgasms are real. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
multi-orgasmic, like, and I get, like, I have three states of orgasm where it's like squirting first, that's just to lube you up naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes on to like I'm really intense and I'm into it, making lots of noises, and then I'll get to the point where I'm just kind of like, it's like an internal massage and I'm out, gone. Like I'm there, but I'm not. And I'm like just enjoying it too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And you know, my scenes, shit, my real scenes are like an hour long because I can keep going and going. She's like,
Yeah, cause that's one thing I could say about your scenes. I didn't see one that was under 25.
no, no, no. Now I have
That's
to,
why I wanted
now
to shoot
that
with
I,
you. I was like, this woman can go all day. That's
yeah.
what we want.
Which is why I always chose groups because one person's not going to be able to do it.
Oh no.
but but I mean, again, that's performing. Is that in my real life? No, my real life, I, you know, I'm honestly these days, I understand my energy centers better. I
Mm,
understand that uh the sacral is what it's called. This is your, you know, your
yeah,
pelvis,
yeah,
your genitals, those types of things. There's still energy there, and if you give it all away to one spot,
yeah.
the rest of it kind of gets lost.
Hmm.
And so I'm more picky about who I do things with. I'm more reserved even to always orgasm. Like I hold back that just like a guy would edge. Well, I do too. And it's because honestly, I get more creative.
mm,
Honestly, I get more focused on the things I'm really into if
mm,
I'm not just giving it all away all the time. That's in a life force. Like guys,
mm.
in my opinion, guys come too much. Like that's your life force. You're just shooting it out everywhere.
Yeah.
Like chill out. Chill out. Now I'm not saying don't watch, but hey, edging's kind of cool. So maybe
Oh
try
yeah.
it.
Yeah, because I even had this conversation with people. I said we are so focused on the scene sometimes ladies don't orgasm,
Yeah.
period. Because like I said, as you grow in this business, as you do more scenes, your focus is the filming. Even though you're being fucked, you're still thinking
Oh, of course.
methodically, you know what I'm saying, how you position yourself and stuff like that. So I applaud you to be able to come the orgasm on most of your scenes, because some girls don't get to do that, period.
Oh no, no. And I know I'm special. Like I know that she's a magical thing. Like my whatever you want to call her, my yoni, my vagina. It's not really just a vagina, it's all kinds of parts in there, but like I mean it she's a beast.
Oh
And
yeah.
she definitely like takes over when she's in control. My brain is not really. I'm all about the sensation. I'm all
Mhm,
about the being present in the moment in that sense.
mhm.
But I can say that a lot of times I put myself into situations that were really wild and crazy because
Yeah.
of the film of the movie, because I
Mhm,
wanted it to be a good movie, because I
mhm,
wanted it to be, something that people would watch. But I also have learned over time that, don't give it all away so fast.
yeah.
Like hold back. And I didn't hold back too much. But I mean, it's the fact that like, I don't know, porn got ruined when the internet, when tube sites and things like Pornhub came around and took all our content and stole it.
Yeah.
It's all pirated. So here, let's just give it away to everybody for free. So
Mhm,
now people have the idea that it's free.
yeah.
And so, uh, you know, to stay in this industry, you have to realize that you can't, it's not just about the performance, it's
No.
about the connection to the human.
Yeah.
And that's what I was always good at anyway with being
Mhm,
on webcam. I have fans that have been here since 2008, like same guys, like pay me every year for my phone number, even though it's been the same since 2008. And, buy everything, probably have shrines to me.
mhm. True.
But I
True.
mean, they, you keep those fans by actually caring about them
Mhm,
and actually connecting with them and wanting to talk to them
mhm,
and not just being about, okay, I've made this movie and expect
mhm,
it to sell. If you don't have the relationship on social media
mhm.
with fans, then it's just not going to work.
Oh no. And see, with you always stayed ahead of the current, similar to me, you know.
Hmm.
Because you were doing a lot of the scenes that are being done now, you were doing them back then when it was not normal to do it. Which create I mean seriously, which created
It's
because
true. It's
we
totally
lost the
true.
shock value in this age. We lost the
That
shock
was
value.
all of us. It was extreme back then.
Yeah,
It was the thing that was like, damn, you're crazy.
yeah, yeah. I tell people think I'm joking. You didn't see anal scenes like that. They was like once in a blue moon type scenes. You feel me? You didn't
Yeah.
see gangbangs like that. Now, your Twitter feed, it anal, gangbang. Public sex was a rarity. Now everyone trying to go into Walmart and fuck. I mean, I'm just saying, you know. So with being
It's all my fault.
yeah, because she was doing it before anybody else was doing it. Y'all think I'm joking? Go look. Because even to the MILF explosion, you was doing MILFy scenes then. You get what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
it wasn't cool. How was you able? This is the question I got asked. How you been able to keep up with the changes? And actually, a lot of stuff you did preceded the changes because you was already doing what these people were doing.
Um, I think a lot of it, and I'll give him credit. My ex, a lot of that was his vision. He, was all about more, 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 crazier, crazier, crazier.
Hmm.
Um, and it back then it was like, and because like I can do all these things, like
Hmm.
physically I could do all those things, then it was just, we were a good team, that we could just go out and do these wild things. And I don't know, we were the wildest one of the swinger crew too. There was no shame. Like it was just all about having a good time, and doing things. And I didn't give it, there was not a lot of thought process. Now him, on the other hand, he was he was the porn watcher, not me. i've
Hmm.
never i've never been a porn watcher. Now I watch it a little bit more because all my friends do it, but
Hmm.
like it's not because I'm just like over here jerking off to it. Like it's not
Yeah.
really something I do unless it's gay porn. I don't know, I just
Yeah.
like I like penises. So like, I mean, it's one of those things that he paid attention a lot. And then on top of that, once you're in it, I don't know,
Hmm.
we always did, I liked group scenes. I like a lot of
Hmm.
people. I enjoyed the dynamic of it. I enjoyed the attention. I
Hmm.
wanted all the guys to be focused on me, and it to be all
Yeah, you
about
were
me.
doing gang bangs before gang bangs was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like mine, the thing is, like, a lot of I see these days, it's a lot of stuff that are kind of like forced, or look
Yeah.
forced, or kind of violent ish. And I don't I don't feel like anything I ever did was that way. Like, to
Hmm.
me, it was more like having a party and having a good
Yeah.
time, and everybody's enjoying this situation. And it's very, sure, there are guys that are nervous, but you can still get up and have your chance. And if that didn't work, that's fine. You can still watch. Like, it
Hmm.
was just very friendly, and more about an experience. Like, come and have this experience with us, and that
Hmm.
you've never been able to have before and probably won't ever again. Because and I always filmed with real fans. I'm not from LA. I don't live
Hmm.
in Vegas. I don't live where all the creators are. I live in Texas, in Houston. And it was just like, I have a form on my website still to this day that you
Hmm.
can fill out a male talent form or a female talent form to be in my movies. Now I don't film hardcore movies anymore, and
Hmm.
the websites are there, but they have 15 years of content on them for a membership. So anybody that complains, I kind of get pissed, because I'm like, you're paying $30 for like 500 movies.
I'm
So
saying.
shut up, like, shut up and pay the $30 and don't even talk to me. So I mean, but like, also sell those on minivids. I also sell
Hmm.
those on X videos. I also sell those. Well, I used to sell them on Pornhub, but they kind of
Hmm.
suck these days. I sell them everywhere I can, and then I have fan clubs, and I sell them there too. I just cut them up and edit them and repurpose them, because um I don't know, I enjoy them. I thought they were, I watch myself now and I think, damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But
So
see, but see, but
yeah,
see, it's old saying. It's only old to people that seen it. It's new to anyone that hasn't. And there's a whole
exactly.
new fan base of porn fans that have not seen your work. So
Absolutely.
it's me. I'm retired, so everything I'm doing is reintroducing because I ain't making nothing new. And I know it feels good when you see your old stuff still selling like it's brand spanking new. You know what I'm saying?
And every day I post something that's either pre-made,
Mhm.
and I've been doing that. I have not filmed new boy girl content since 2020.
Damn.
So for 4 years, I've been selling the content that I already own. And
Mhm.
on top of that, I, do have a membership base that stays. And
Mhm.
because there's so much, Siren Studios which is my Siren Triple X Studios is my studio.
Mhm.
Not only is it my website, but it's my first time sluts and naughty nymphos, and that's with
Mhm.
tons of different porn stars. So,
Mhm.
and also just regular women that wanted to
Mhm.
have a fantasy provided for them and be able to
Mhm.
do the things that I do. And so I do give credit to my ex for that. He
Mhm.
created those when I was hurt. Like that's the route we took. Is
Mhm.
once I was injured, it was like don't stop, build
Yeah.
up more. Like
Yeah.
actually build more, create more. So that's what we did. Is when D can't shoot, then we can hire people to shoot. So
Mhm.
we invested our money into building the studio to something even bigger, which and I haven't decided. I've been in a transition for 3 years since he and I split of what to do with it. If I'm going to continue posting on it or if I'm going to go a different route. I also have DSiren.com, which is
Mhm.
my personal website, which
Mhm.
also has all that content, but also will be getting new content and
Mhm.
that you can actually chat with me there. So the features that things like OnlyFans has, I have
Mhm.
that available on
Sweet.
DSiren.com, where you can own the video, so you can buy it, you can rent it,
Mhm.
which is cheaper, you can join as a membership, so it's got like so many different options.
Mhm.
And you can buy my personal items there. DSiren.com has everything. So it and there's so much content that I've made over the last
Mhm.
15 years that it gets updated and it looks like it's new, and then it's like,
Mhm.
oh, maybe I've seen that, maybe I haven't. And then
Mhm.
I take that and I resell it and cut that shit up too. So like if you want to be in the industry, I know how to work the game.
Oh yeah.
And I manage some people on OnlyFans. I intended to, well, I did start a talent agency
Mhm.
um over the last year. It didn't
Mhm.
quite work out the way I wanted it to, but I still help people out. So like
Mhm.
if you are new to OnlyFans or you do feel like you need, a mentor or somebody that can help you, a
Mhm.
coach, business coach, then I do that, and I also run other their
Mhm.
accounts. So I do OnlyFans management. I do all kinds of shit. Like I'm
Mhm.
just one of those people that stacks my plate and continues to stack my plate. Like it never
Got
stops
you.
stacking.
Yeah.
So, but that's
So
what you
she.
have to do to maintain a presence on the internet and to maintain a be a creator is you can't quit creating.
Oh no. Oh no. Because yeah, I went from shooting porn to doing the podcast. See, there you go. So what content do you shoot now? Since you're not doing boy girl.
I only do solo content now.
Mhm.
Only solo.
That's still tough.
Yeah, I still do solo. I still got my big toys and things like that. I
Ooh.
don't do that much. That's really custom. Like you
Mhm.
have to pay for custom content to
Mhm.
get that.
Mhm.
But really just solo that I update my OnlyFans a couple of times a week with
Mhm.
solo content. Most of it's just really like me enjoying myself at home, and I
Mhm.
like to dress up and take pictures for social. So I
Yeah.
have I really honestly have a process. Like I go through a process of, okay, today's the day I'm going to put makeup on. And today I'll put on something cute, and then I'll make some safe for work content for
Mhm.
social media. I'll make content for my life coaching company because that's really what my focus is on these days.
Mhm.
And then I'll go ahead and make some spicy content that I can
Mhm.
post on OnlyFans afterwards.
Mhm.
So I have a process of how I make content, and I
Mhm.
do a lot within a couple of days a week, so that
Mhm.
the rest of the time I can manage other people's pages and I can manage my own pages and I can post content. And I'm a one man show. Like I do
Mhm.
everything by myself. So I don't know. I've worked with other people at this stage of my career. I enjoy doing everything myself.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to expand, but honestly, like at this point, I'm building a lifestyle brand,
Mhm.
which is called Intimate Purpose. IntimatePurpose.com is my website. I am a certified sex therapist. I'm a certified
Mhm.
spiritual life coach and a certified soul purpose coach.
Mhm.
So I'm all about education. I've always been a teacher. I've always been a nurturer and a visionary of something new. And this is just where I feel like things have led me is,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a mess in their life,
Mm-hmm.
and but your mess is your message,
Mm-hmm.
and you can teach others how to get through certain things. My focus is on mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I've been depressed. I've been addicted to prescription drugs. I've been injured in car accidents. I have complex PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
and I also learned to get off all those drugs. And I
Mm-hmm.
also learned to find ways to control chronic pain
Mm-hmm.
through something called somatic
Mm-hmm.
healing, which is movement. So I teach those things now on social media, and I'm in the process, about to start another new podcast. I had one with my ex,
Mm-hmm.
Siren Sexy Secrets. It's still out there.
Yeah.
Lots of
You know
content.
you inspired me, right? You know you inspired me with this podcasting, right?
Me, me,
Yes.
nah.
Yes. I was like, because I was going through thinking about retirement and what I was going to do. Because I'm the type of person I got to chase something. And other than the podcast I was watching, I remember running across y'all podcast. I said, "Well, damn, she does it all. Now she a podcaster guy." So it's to me. I tell females at some point in your career, you got to look outside of porn to make opportunities outside of porn. How important is for ladies when to look outside of porn for opportunities? You get what I'm saying? Because
Extremely important. And here's the thing: you have to see yourself as a multidimensional being. You Human beings are not one dimensional. We have all different sides of us. We have all different interests. There is a Japanese concept which
mm-hmm,
is called ikigai.
mm-hmm,
And ikigai means that you are following your passion, the thing that make you want to do more than anything. Do it. Like that's your gift. The
mm-hmm,
thing that you're naturally the best at. Do it. It's your gift. And I am a teacher of human design, which is a form of uh, astrology that is more extensive, based on the moment your energy came into this human experience. I teach all kinds of things, and the reason is because I did get hurt. I got hurt. And yeah, sure, the content can move me along and I can continue selling it, but if I don't have a presence online,
mm-hmm.
then nobody's going to people forget about you. You can't just if you disappear, then you disappear.
Yeah.
And you are not people are not going to spend money on people that disappear because most people don't think about each other. Everybody thinks that everybody thinks about them,
Mm-hmm,
but really most of the time we think about ourselves,
mm-hmm,
and we don't think about other people. And you're lucky if you have people think about you, because it
yeah.
doesn't happen a lot, and people are too worried about what other people think. They're not thinking about you. You're thinking about you. It's your perspective on what's happening in life. So the thing is that even though you may be high up here on your career and you're doing great,
Mm-hmm.
trust me, the universe will come and knock you down. Like
Yes.
the car accident hit the old lady, decided to clip my back tire and spin me and hit me into a light pole and break my
Ooh.
neck. Like it it was I had no choice. That I literally broke my neck September 2014. I got nominated for an AVN for most outrageous sex scene
Mm-hmm.
December 2014. I
Dang.
didn't get to go to that AVN. I didn't get to do any of those things because it was like, wake up. It was
Mm-hmm.
like the universe going, wake up. You've got to do other things. I get you're doing this stuff, but think about what just happened to you. And now they're nominating you for it. Sorry to say, but I didn't care. I was like, really? Like,
Yeah,
it's,
you
I
sitting
got
there with a
hurt.
broke
I
neck
got
trying
hurt.
to live.
Like, you got to get hurt to get nominated.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's crazy. Now, did they know I was hurt? Probably not, but you should.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should, if you were a sex worker and you're out here doing stuff, you should realize men shouldn't be doing that to women. You're going to seriously hurt them. I had to have surgery to repair the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was damage that affected me. And it was not like right away, but it was years later that I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that happened until I went, oh yeah, it happened. There's video of it. I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh shit, that's not supposed to happen. Well, even as a professional, there are things where I'm like, oh wow, that can happen. Well, it didn't really hurt at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but that didn't mean it didn't damage you. We put our bodies through a lot of shit to do this job, and you can't, your body can't keep up. It's just not going to be able to keep up. It's too hard. Like I said, it's like being an athlete where you can only, you have a lifespan in this industry
Yeah.
when it comes to your body and how much you can take.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that mean you have to disappear? No.
Yeah.
You just have to realize you're a multidimensional person and you have other interests. And guess what? There's people in the world that may be interested in something else you do.
Mm-hmm.
So create content around the things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Build a lifestyle brand instead of building just a porn star brand, because then you become like, oh, you know what, I kind of like that person's lifestyle, I'm
Mm-hmm.
interested in that, or I just want to hear them talk, or damn, I learned things from them, or I've never learned. Somebody may be a great cook and they just think, oh, nobody cares. Well, guess what? I'm not a great cook. I care. Like, I suck at cooking, and I love to watch people make food. So I'm like, make some food. I'm down. I'll watch your content if you're a good cook and you really are awesome baker and you make cool cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're somebody who can build a bed. Well,
Mm-hmm.
shit, my kid built a bed. It would have been cool to be able to watch you do that and learn how to
Mm-hmm.
do it. So everybody has a message. Everybody can teach somebody something, and it's, people don't realize that other people, they need it. They need it. They want it. They want to consume that. We want to learn from each other. We have the technology and the capability to teach each other in a
Mm-hmm.
fashion that we've never been able to do in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And if you limit yourself to one thing and you become that character that you decided to name yourself, that stage name, and it just, you're now this doll of a person,
Mm-hmm.
then it's really just limiting you as a human. And
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. And it's super important for longevity to do other things. Like, you may not make as much money because you may have not enough content, or maybe it just, mine doesn't make as much as it made back in the day when it was brand
Yeah.
new.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I quit altogether? I considered it, but
Mm-hmm.
I also, what does that mean? What does that mean, quit? I'm not going to quit being a creator.
Mm-hmm.
I just change my content. And when it comes to solo stuff, I don't do it all that much, but it would be things I do anyway, where it's like, okay, I'll just go play with this toy today. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
sometimes it's in the bath. Sometimes I'm sweaty and dirty and I just got back from a walk and I'm like, I'm jumping in the shower, record it. I
Mm-hmm.
record everything. I don't care how I look. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to have a certain look. Sometimes I don't wear makeup. Sometimes I do wear makeup. Sometimes I get dressed up. Sometimes I don't get dressed up. I just literally created a lifestyle that is my lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
which is my lifestyle. Most of the time is playing with two dogs and talking about, the universe and neuroscience and
Yeah.
and I don't know, if you really want to dive deep into your mind, body, and spirit. That's my content.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then don't watch it. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
that simple. So yeah, I mean, as a adult performer who's been around a long time, who plans to be around until she can't do this anymore, which I don't see where that will happen. Because if I follow Ikigai and I'm still in doing the things that I love to do, then abundance happens. We just got to stop believing that we're limited.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that's really it.
Yeah, because to me it's kind of like, because we came from the era where they said we did porn, it was over. You can't do
Right.
anything else. In this day and age, that's not the case, because actually doing porn actually kind of help you, because we love controversial figures. Period. With the advent of sex tape, we saw what happened with Kim Kardashian when she did her little sex tape. Period. And everybody trying to copy it. But um, what I love about you is that you are the example of what I be telling these ladies about building your brand, making it multifaceted, and not be dependent on one thing. Like you're not just dependent on the content. You're not just dependent on the webcam. You get what I'm saying to make money. And a lot of females get comfortable in making money with the content. So when the content start making money, they're stuck.
Yeah.
I've never seen you stuck. That's the one thing I can't say about you.
No. No, I mean honestly, I it's just how this is just how my energy works. So I'll go off on human design, but I'm a manifest generator.
Mhm,
There's four things you can be: a projector, reflector, a generator, which the majority of the population is. That means a
mhm,
worker,
mhm,
or a manifest generator. And a
mhm,
manifest generator is somebody who creates things and makes things happen. Not only are you doing it and you're taking action, but you're also coming up with it and creating it. So, you know, before the word creator was
yeah,
a thing, I was a creator. I've always been a creator.
creative. Yeah.
I just created shit for little kids. I built, you know, magical fake worlds, you
Yeah.
know, in their classrooms,
Mhm,
so that they could learn, and it was fun and exciting. And so, I've always had imaginary friends, which I don't even think they're imaginary friends. I think that they're probably like uh guardian angels.
mhm, mhm,
And I always I was I was kind of a loner. I'm very neurodivergent, on the
mhm,
spectrum. Like, I am too blunt and I'm too straight up, and I'm also social cues don't really work well with me. And I know all these things about me, but I'm also like have social anxiety, but I'm also super social. It's like I've always had two sides to me. And when it came to
mhm,
sex, because unfortunately, my sexual experiences started with a violent act, about a crime.
mhm,
And that kind of dissociated sex for me, where I could compartmentalize it.
mhm.
But there are people that can, 1 in 3 women are sexually assaulted in this
So
country,
true.
and 1 in 6 men. Like, you wouldn't even know, but it's true. And the fact is that those types of incidents,
Mhm,
especially if they happen at a young age, are life transforming.
mhm,
And people can say, oh, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't do this. Well, you're compartmentalizing, you're putting it away, you're filing it away.
mhm.
And with that being the case, um hold on just a second.
Commercial break, people. Just a small commercial break. You know what I'm saying? So now, what I was going to ask you was because you were talking about with sexual assault and stuff. A lot of things came out last year in the porn industry. Like the people know we don't sugarcoat and we talk real here on my podcast because we ain't gonna do that fake shit. People don't believe that sexual assault happens in porn, and it does. It doesn't matter that we're having sex on camera. I remember a while back, a young lady got the shit whooped out of her ass doing a BDSM scene. And
Yeah.
people were questioning, well, was it really? Maybe they wanted it to be that rough. No,
No.
because before we shoot, we always discuss our boundaries. We always discuss what we're willing to do and what we're not willing to do. Anytime when a dude goes beyond that, that is a sexual assault.
Hmm.
Sorry, fellas, that's the truth. She didn't want to thumb in her ass. He put a thumb in her ass. That's sexual assault. Why do people believe there's no sexual assault in porn?
Well, that is a societal issue,
Mm-hmm.
because this is part of the problem. Because sex work is criminalized,
Mm-hmm.
um it is then law enforcement, when a sex worker is sexually assaulted, considers it that no humans were involved. They
Yeah.
literally say those are the words they use. No human involved,
Mm-hmm.
because you're an object. Like, I mean, to society and to law enforcement, you are an object. You're not a person when that
Mm-hmm.
happens, because you chose to film yourself, you chose to get paid, you chose to make yourself into a product.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, society doesn't look at us as humans. So how can you sexually assault a toy? How can
Mm,
you sexually assault an object?
mm,
You can't. Well, according to society. But
mm,
that is where bringing humanity back into this industry and to society and to the audience,
mm,
showing that we are actually people and we do actually have opinions and we do actually talk about consent. I think it's important. It's okay to record it, like
mm,
show it. I think it's important. I think if I start, more than likely I'll start directing and producing again. For
mm.
and I'd love it to be more educational. I'd love it to show humans actually having consent for the things that we do.
Yeah.
And even if you choose to be six guys on one girl, talk about it. Hey, are
Mm,
you guys all cool with this? There's something you're not cool with. Like, we should show these things because we, as adult creators, we are what people watch. We are the people that they think are real and we're doing the real
mm,
shit, right? Well, why are
mm,
we out here? Why are we out here hurting each other and
mm,
thinking that that's what's good to show?
mm,
Like, I, I have issues with BDSM because I've been in real BDSM situations.
mm,
I've been to real dungeons. I've
mm.
been to around that community,
Mm.
and they have a million rules. There's a
Yes.
million boundaries. There's the sub is in charge of the situation. I was a sub in my situation, but I was in charge of it. He was
Yeah.
never in charge of it. All he was allowed to do is the things I allowed him to do. So there's tons of rules and there's tons of um misconception on
Mm-mm.
what a sub and a dom are in that relationship,
Yes.
because it's very, without the safe words there's no safety.
No.
And so if you have somebody, plus here's the problem, there's too many sociopathic, narcissistic, psycho people. When I say psycho, you don't have to be a killer. You
No, you
can
don't.
still be a psychopathic type of person out there who are in this game for the wrong reasons.
Mm,
They're in it to satisfy some kind of fucked up fantasy.
mm,
They're in it to um, manipulate people or to control them. They're in it to, sorry to say, to be pimps
yeah.
and pimp girls out, which is trafficking. I'm sorry, but it's true. And I'm
It
not
is.
going to lie about it. I'm not going to cover and be like, oh, you can't say trafficking. Yeah, I
Excuse
can. Because it
me.
happens. It happens. Is it
Yeah.
everywhere? No. Is it everyone? No. But it happens.
Mm,
And the fact is that until we realize that we have to take responsibility for what we do and take
mm,
accountability for what we do in a
mm,
public way, of saying there are the good people and the bad people in this and we want to change,
mm.
and nothing changes. All
No.
it does is get silenced, and people are afraid to get blacklisted, and people are afraid to say anything. Well, this is the thing, it doesn't matter anymore, it's all in our hands. You're the creator.
Yeah, actually, because even to the point on the negative side, you got cats who fake the TTS. They still shooting. There's you
Yeah.
got people that had a, yes, I'm gonna say dirty fucking test,
Yeah.
still shooting. We come from a time where if that test was dirty, your career was over. Done.
Yeah.
Nobody fuck with you, not even on the independent level. So the game has changed so much to favor content creators, but some of them changes, not as great because it also doesn't protect us from the bullshit like it did back in the day. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with that. I agree with that. Like, I have a friend who is working on a new project to build a type of verification system
Mm-hmm,
for talent, that hopefully it'll be connected with talent testing. So these
mm-hmm,
things are like available on a app.
mm-hmm,
So like this person's tested, or a lot like I don't know, Tinder and those things where you can swipe past
mm-hmm.
people and be like, nope, not covering everything I need. You know what I mean? Um, eh, Testing, but if we don't stick up for each other and we don't verify anything, then you're always going to have the people who take advantage of
Yeah.
the situation. When I was very disappointed, the last expos I went to, I was in the crowd listening to them talking about uh, the state of the industry.
Hmm.
And one of the questions asked was, how many people are in this for money and how many people are in it for art? And I think I was like one of two people that raised their hand for that said they were in it for the art. Like, if you're here and all you're worried about is making some money, it's not going to work. You're not going to
You ain't
stay.
gonna last long
You're
because
not
the
going to
money
last. You're going
fluctuates
to
too
burn
damn much.
out. This is not
Yeah.
easy. This is a 24/7 job. I never stop working. I
Mhm.
work from the moment so I wake up in the morning and I got the dog on purpose to wake me up earlier.
Mhm.
And I immediately go outside and I walk and I stay out in nature for about the first 2 hours of my morning, but that's before 8 a.m.
Mhm.
So I by the time work starts at 8 a.m., I don't stop working until 10 p.m. I work all day long.
Yeah.
I don't do anything else. I have no social life, to be honest. Like, I don't outside of work and
Yeah.
people that work with me, which is why we build a family type of community, because we don't really fit into the
Any other?
vanilla the
Yeah. Any other
vanilla
spot?
world anymore. Like, we don't want to be around people that are going to judge us or make choices on those things. And
Yeah.
so, and on top of that, being a creator takes work. So it's definitely a job. Sex work is work.
Yes.
This We are all like I said, performance artists,
Mhm.
sexual athletes, and
All that.
character actors.
Yeah. Because even with me, I did nothing but role play scenes. I hated doing straight fuck scenes. Because I wanted to create an atmosphere with my porn. I wanted to create a story with my porn. Because I feel porn now is more viral. They trying to find a viral moment instead of creating a legacy with it. You
Which is
know,
shocking, which is to shock you.
yeah,
Yeah.
period. We created legacies,
Yeah.
period. You know, but it's kind of like, to me, I think the biggest problem is that, like music, you can find out how you can find any book, videos and stuff to tell you how to move in the music industry, how to move in any other industry. We don't have a lot of educational tools for people that want to break into this,
Yeah.
because even with us, we had to learn on the fly, or we talked to somebody that was in the industry,
Hmm.
and they didn't want to give us the knowledge hardly, straight up. Period. It was hard for me to even find a mentor in the business that would tell me what I need to do so I would move better.
Yeah.
Period. Now it's more, more of us having podcasts. I'm loving that shit
Yeah.
because it seems like now the shame of getting into business is gone because everybody and mama want to try to do it, even to
Hmm.
celebrities,
Hmm.
period. And what ends up happening is people watch who do what and they try to mimic it. Like, they'll see what she's doing instead of figuring out, okay, the psychology behind it. Y'all just go ahead and fucking do it and think it's that. That's the reason why we got motherfuckers in the goddamn grocery aisle fucking in front of the milk. And then wondering why the hell they ass got arrested. It's a process of how we do this.
It's because they really don't have the people watching out for them.
Yeah, basically. Or smart enough to be like, look, I know the manager at the Walmart. It's closed. We can go in while it's closed.
But you know
Almost.
what? Everything I did in public was real. Everything I
Mhm.
did in public was risky as fuck.
Yeah,
Everything I did in public, I could have gotten caught. I almost got caught. I did get caught and chased by the cops once, and I still did it. You either
oh,
have to be dedicated to the fact that this is what you're going to do.
hmm,
And this is the thing. I get a dopamine hit, like,
yeah,
like I get a rush from the risk.
hmm,
And now I understand why I do, because of the sexual assault. It happened in
yeah,
public. It was things that, honestly, in my head, public sex is normal.
yeah,
So I'm a country girl from Texas who, I mean, everything I did when I was young was in
mhm,
public. Like,
yeah,
it was always in a car. It was always in a field. It was always out,
You my kind of lady.
not at Walmart, but I mean, it was
Yeah,
still, but flashing at Walmart, that wasn't any big deal to me. I did that
yeah.
anyway for
I mean,
fun.
flashing
Like,
ain't nothing because ain't nothing but a quick. You know what I'm saying?
now, when you're actually having sex at Walmart in front of the milk, well,
Yeah.
come on. Now, that's just not using your brain. You can only take
No.
things so far. And that's the problem. Again, goes back to boundaries. Like,
Mhm.
where do you stop? Where does it end?
Yeah.
And for somebody who's been a queen of extreme,
Mhm.
I there are boundaries. Like, I also understood that, like, we can only do this so much,
Yeah.
and we can only go to the Dillard's dressing room in the men's section on a
Mhm.
Tuesday when absolutely nobody's there, because we did our research and we
Bingo.
paid attention, and we were like, oh, look, nobody's ever here. Or, oh, look in this corner, nobody's ever here. Or, oh, look, we're going to make sure there are no humans around us to
Mhm.
do any of this stuff. But honestly, those kind of things, I can't even sell it. I can't sell that stuff on anything
No.
outside of my own websites. I can't sell all that crap,
Mhm.
because sure, you can give it away for free on social media to go viral if you want to, but
Mhm.
like, most of it, I can't sell it. I can't post it on, like, I can do it on X videos, I think, but and my
Mhm.
website, but public stuff is hard to sell these days,
Yeah.
because
Because
there's limitations of the companies, because what if somebody's in the background? What
yeah.
if, you mean, you get screwed and you get sued? Like, I mean, there's been some videos that I had companies names in the background, and they sent me DMCA's, they sent me
And see, people don't believe
letters.
that really fucking happened. And I said this on my show to you smokers. I said these dumb motherfuckers going in Macy's fucking on the damn couch. Wouldn't surprise me if Macy's motherfucking sent them a cease and desist or try to sue them.
Yep. And
You
it
know,
happened with me with a company, that there was a truck that had like a bumper sticker of some
mm,
local company, and they saw it and they sent it. And I just can't use that video. Like,
mm,
that video's no longer out there, because it's like, I'm not going to get sued. I'm not. Of course, I'll
mm,
take it down. Like, it was stuff I didn't even notice. But
mm,
it's like, you don't realize, oh, there's things in the background. So like, these days, if I did anything, I can't sell that stuff on OnlyFans. If I'm on
mm,
OnlyFans, they'll flag it. Nope.
yeah,
It's a possibility somebody could have been there that's not, uh not on the, not, well, for one thing, not over 18, which is an
yeah,
issue. But like, anytime I did stuff, I was super careful to make sure nobody was around.
yeah,
And it was spur of the moment, and it was
mm,
like, just do it. Just do it. It took us 5 minutes, we're done. But I
mm,
have had situations where I went in a cul-de-sac in the back of my SUV and hooked up with people, and
mm,
it that's when the cops come. Like, that's when it became like, oh, well, shit, we can't do this crazy shit in public anymore.
mm,
So, I mean, yeah, there is risk to it. And I don't know. I don't feel like I'm at a different stage of my life. Back then, I thought that was great and fun. But I
yeah,
mean, again, it was never my idea. It was my ex's idea, and he
mm,
had no boundaries. It was like, do
mm.
whatever the fuck we want to do. And that's pretty much his attitude. So I went along with it for a
Mm,
long time. I was the muse to his madness,
mm.
but now, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm
he,
not gonna be
he,
that
he was the one
person.
that could push the button, like, yeah, baby, let's go ahead and fuck on top of this car, baby. We can do it.
Pretty much, but
Now it's like,
we had that kind of relationship since we were 19. It was like, oh, you're gonna say something, and I'll just agree, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it, because we did have the dom sub relationships, in the sense of, like, I didn't come up with the wacky ideas. I
mm,
came up with I'm more the, like, this is how it's going to happen, and I'll actually do it. But it was his vision. It was
mm.
my action. I'm the action taker. So, but I guess
So
that's also why I own everything. It's because I'm the action taker. I'm the one that
true,
did it.
true. So the
So
question I got to ask you is, how has things changed since you and him parted ways? Because he was a big part of your business.
he
He
was a
he,
big
he had,
he was a big part of my life.
yeah.
We were married for 25 years. My divorce is still not final, and
Mm,
it becomes final at the end of this month, crossing fingers. Um, I don't know him anymore. It's been 3 years. I know him because we co parent, and
yeah.
we have three kids together. And
Mm,
I feel like he was uh, a karmic relationship, somebody who taught me everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. I mean, I've grown up with him. I've
Mm-hmm.
known him. I've been, my last name now has been longer that than anything. And as for
Mm-hmm.
the industry, we did it together. We were a
Yeah.
team. And so I've been reinventing myself for the last 3 years, personally and professionally.
Mm-hmm.
And, reinvention's hard.
Yeah.
It's tough. I'll always love him. He'll always be a a life partner.
Mm-hmm.
We have kids together, but I also realized it was time to walk away from the madness.
Mm-hmm.
It was time to wake up, and honestly, because I got hurt, it forced me to focus on myself.
Yeah.
And once you heal the body,
Yeah.
uh it's time to heal the mind, and then
Yeah.
once you heal the mind, it's time to heal the spirit.
Yeah.
And the spirit is the part that I was missing.
Mm.
When I say that, I don't mean organized religion, but I
Nah.
do mean divine energy, which is,
Yeah.
in my opinion, who you are. So
Mm-hmm.
I've spent a lot of time in meditation, in
Mm-hmm.
healing, in therapy, in self self healing,
Mm-hmm.
learning about ways to connect with yourself, and more than anything, falling in love with me. I've spent 3 years falling in love with myself.
Yeah.
Because I was just, when you are the sub,
Yeah.
it's you kind of you and even in a lot of just regular relationships, you kind of lose yourself,
Yeah.
because you make compensations for other people, and
Mm-hmm.
so you forget who you are without that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't been that person since I was 19, and now I'm 50. So if you can imagine,
You
is
know
it a big
what?
I'm 50. You don't
Get
think I'm
the
50?
fucking broom here up out of here.
You don't think I'm 50? It's all
No. I
it's
thought you were
almost
younger than me. I'm 48. I thought you were at least like 40.
See, there you go. I am your elder.
Oh my God. See, I told y'all people, I said 40 and 50. Back when I was a teenager in my 20s, don't look like 40 and 50. And now, boy, these women got them. You look better than the 20-year-olds.
Thank you. But you know what? It's all honestly, it's all about just loving me, and
Mhm.
you know, taking care of me, finally paying attention to I changed everything.
Mhm.
Everything I eat, everything I
Mhm.
think, everything. I wake up every day just in gratitude for having the life I have.
Yeah,
Because
indeed.
every year I look back and say, this is what I wanted. And but you can't just sit back and say, I believe in manifestation. I
Mhm.
believe you can manifest the things you want, because this is your story to tell. No
Mhm.
one can see it the way you see it. Like nobody has my perspective in life.
Mhm.
Nobody, because they're not my eyes, they're not my senses, they're not my energy.
Mhm.
It belongs to you, but you have to look at life as a journey and a movie, like, and you're the director and you're the actor and you're the main character, and you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Mhm.
Just choose it, and do it. Once you choose it, you got to do it. If you don't do it, I've always been that way. I've recreated myself from being insurance salesman to a mom to a teacher to a swinger to a porn star. And that was on a dare. That was like, dare you. My boy toy and he both dared me. I bet you couldn't be a porn star. And I said, I'll take that bet.
And
And
years
now
later, she's a
they're
legend.
gone.
And years later, she's a damn legend. So, yes. So,
Yep.
people, I done held this lady up long enough, and we ain't even touched the surface. So, y'all know I got to ask her the $1,000,000 question. Miss Dee Siren, can I call you a smoke buddy?
Sure, of course.
Say no more. You know what that means. She'll be back here on the Smokers Lounge, and we're going to work on getting her on the Premium Smoke Room. That's right, people. 5 premium podcasts for you to enjoy, 3 sexy co-hosts for you to look at. And it gets more candid, more unpredictable, more crazy, more wilder. The tits might come out, the dildos might come out. You don't know unless you subscribe on Loyal Fans. So go over there and subscribe. Also, check out my subscription based podcast episodes on Spotify called Savage Smoke, where I talk to the top male talents and we talk the real about the business. Ain't no sugarcoating. We gonna tell you how we fucking feel. So go ahead, subscribe over there as well. So with that being said, Miss Dee Siren, tell everybody where they can spend money on you, baby.
What am I telling you about me?
Tell them where they can spend money on you.
Oh, where they can spend money on me. Everywhere. Just Google Dee Siren and you'll find my websites, my OnlyFans, my you can join my subscription on OnlyFans. You can join my subscription on Instagram. You can join my subscription on Twitter. I'm monetized everywhere. Please follow me at Intimate Purpose. Intimate Purpose. That is my new holistic life coaching company. I consider myself a self love coach and an intuitive intimacy coach. And other than that, Siren Triple X Studios, that is my production company. You can find me on mrssiren.com. You can find me on my personal website, dsiren.com. You can find me all over Pornhub, X videos, and everywhere else. But yeah, just really follow me on my socials, and then you'll be able to keep up with all the shit I do because it's something different every week.
Say no more. See, I told you my interviews are getting better. See, ever since I got nominated on that for the ABN, baby. You feel me? So she will be back. And y'all know how we end these shows all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Miss Sarah, say goodbye to the smokers.
Bye, guys. Come see me.